just texted me right now. Hi, I'm back again. Like I said I was going to be, you know, not lying, you know, me, I'm totally disciplined, whatever, you know, I could totally do this. You see, I'm telling you. So before we get into this story time, I do want to say a couple of things. First thing is that all the names are changed, and don't go out and try to find this person, blah blah blah, you know, don't attack them, just don't do it. And second thing is, this story, I chose him, so I'm not a victim. Like I chose him. Like I understood the risks when I seen him and when I dated him. So, you know, I'm not a victim, I'm just dumb. And yeah, that's it. Make sure you like and subscribe for more story times, and tell me that you want more story times. And make sure you follow my Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat for more updates. Also, on my YouNow, I tell stories before they come out here. So if you want a preview, or like you want the stories before they come out, before everyone else, and you already know, you know, so you're like in the cool club, make sure you follow my YouNow, and all that stuff will be linked down below in the description. I tell a story all the time. So I was like, there's no other place but to tell it on here too, because I already tell it everywhere else. I told it in college during a class, I told it in school, I told it in high school, and I told it like at work and stuff. It's a really funny story, and it's kind of because I'm just an idiot. Everyone knows that, and I tell them that I'm an idiot with this story. So I just want to give you guys a little back history before I get into the story. This is in 11th grade, and when I was in 11th grade, I was a lot of a rebel. My mom had just moved to Arizona, and I stayed in Vegas, so I was like, oh, I can do like whatever I want, because my mom lives in Arizona and I'm living with my aunt, who's way more laid back and chill than my strict ass mom. Sorry, Mom, but she's way more chill, and she lets us do more than what my mom would let us do. So I was like, I can't wait to do shit. And also in 11th grade, I was like going through something. I don't know what it was. I was just so tired of everything. I was like, yeah, fuck this, fuck that, fuck everything, fuck you. And then I was just like, yeah, I don't care. Like, I was so rude to everyone that I met, and like the littlest things would make me so mad. I swear. I remember someone stole my pencil, and I was mad for the whole day. Like, I don't know who stole it, but I remember I was so angry at the world. I don't know why. I forgot, honestly. And so also I moved a lot. So when the story takes place in high school, I'm the whole time thinking like, next year I'm not even gonna be here. I'm not gonna come here for senior year. Like, I don't stay at the same school for long. My mom was gonna come back and take me back to Arizona, and then I was gonna be an Arizona gal for forever, I guess, but no. We are going to call him, I don't know what we're gonna call him. I don't know. We're gonna call him Max. We're gonna call him Max. Okay. So, I was like not doing my work in class, because again, I was a rebel. I didn't care about anything. I didn't talk to people. I would be on my phone in the back of the class, and I would just be texting, and like I would FaceTime people and fucking like be on Facebook and Instagram, and then like not care. Eventually my teacher said something about it. He was like, hey, you need to do your work. So he moved me to the front of the class to make sure I was gonna do my work, because he didn't want to take my phone for some reason, because I would have took my fucking phone. Wait, no, I wouldn't have. But he didn't want to take my phone, which I was grateful for. I love him, love you. And he sat me next to this guy. He sat me next to Max. And I looked down at Max and I see a house arrest bracelet on his left or right ankle. And at first I didn't care. Like, I was just like, I was so mad that he didn't, like, he moved me to the front and that I couldn't use my phone because he was gonna take it because he already didn't take it first time, so I knew he was gonna take it this time if I used it. So then I thought, like, oh, since he like took my phone away and I can't talk to anyone, I'm gonna make him mad, like the teacher mad, and make him like try to move me back because I'm talking to people. And when I was over there, I wasn't talking to anyone, I would just use my phone. But now I'm up here and I'm talking to people, so that's how I thought back in the day. I thought he was gonna move me. No, he didn't. So I turn to my right and I asked Max, I'm like, hey, why do you have a house arrest bracelet on? He says, I live in a group home because I was stealing cars and I got charged with Grand Theft Auto. And yeah, he's like, he goes on, he tells me a little about himself. He's like, I'm like, a group home? He's like, yeah, it's a home where the judge sends you away from your house. So we live in this house with a whole bunch of other guys who need to be like disciplined and like put on the right path. So he didn't live around there. He didn't live around my school. He lived all the way out far as fuck where the rich people live. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, that's cool, like, I guess. And then like he starts talking more and I'm like, yeah. And somewhere along the line, I think he said something funny about the teacher or something, like a dick. And then like I was like, oh, he's actually kind of cool. So then like we start hanging out more. And then and then I was like, oh yeah, you're pretty cool. I remember one day it was like raining outside and he was like, yeah, like when I leave here, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna like be on my shit. Like, I'm not gonna do anything bad anymore. I'm not gonna steal cars. I'm not gonna let my brother get me into shit. I'm like, yeah, that would be smart for you to do. And I, at this time, did not do anything to anyone. I was mostly like antisocial. Like, I really hung out with like the same group of people every day. And, you know, I was just like really closed off. I was really introverted because like I didn't care because it was 11th grade and I was a rebel. I was a badass. Now I'm a pussy. Like, I do not do shit, okay? But I remember he was like, I couldn't find my friends one day, the day that it was raining, and then like I was like, he was with me, so I was like, okay, we're gonna chill, blah 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 blah. He still has on his house arrest bracelet, so we can't do like anything off of campus. So we're like just sitting there talking, and then like I'm like, yeah, he's hella funny, and then like he has a lot of cool stories. Like, I'm not gonna lie, me and him really did like hit it off. Like, we really did get along, and like we really did have the chemistry, you know. I was like, okay, it's like, yes. But at the time I really wasn't looking to date anyone. I'm gonna be honest with you, I really wasn't. I was like, I never really am I never really am ready to date anyone. Like, I never date anyone. Honestly, I really don't. But I remember my aunt, she was like, you're always single. You need to like find someone because you're going to be alone for the rest of your life. And you're going to have dogs everywhere. And she's like, you're never going to have kids and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't want to have kids, first of all. Second of all, okay, who cares? Like, and she's like, you should just date him. Like, who cares? It's not getting married or anything. You need to be more spontaneous and more out there. And I was like, okay, she's kind of right. I never do take risk, and yeah, you know, whatever. So we talk a little bit more. I remember one day we were sitting in the front again because we got in trouble, but I don't know why he moved us by each other again, because he knew we talked. So we're by each other and he's like, can you guys not talk and do your work today? So we're like, okay, we won't talk. And then like we're passing notes to each other like little kindergartners, and I'm like, and my teacher, he looks at us, he's like, I would take that and read it out loud, but no one ever passes notes anymore, so I'm gonna let you guys do it. And we were talking about, he told me, he was like, oh, you know, if you want to hold my hand, you can, because I remember we were walking on campus somewhere, and then like our hands accidentally touched, and then I like snatched it up, which I do to everyone. I'd be like, how dare you touch me? And then I guess he thought that I was like, I don't know. And then I was like, I didn't want to touch your hand. If I wanted to hold your hand, I would hold your hand, but I didn't want to hold your hand, so I didn't hold your hand. And he's like, you know, would you want to be my girlfriend? And then in this moment, I was like, yeah, I mean, we do get along really well. And then like, yes, he's a criminal, but like, you know, like, he said he was gonna get his shit together. And I believed him. I was like, he won't lie, right? I don't know, because I don't feel like, my reasoning for everything is like, why would they lie? Like, what reason do they have to lie? Especially if it's about something stupid. But people really do just be lying about the most dumbest shit. So I have to stop getting that, I have to get out that mindset. But, so he's like, oh, girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, we have the chemistry. My aunt said I had to date someone because, you know, blah, blah. She's told me to date you. So I'm like, yeah, sure. So, move along the line. We were cool for a long ass time. Like, we would sit together in class. At lunch, we would kind of sit together. Not really, but kind of. Like, we'll see each other, say hi. You know, he was a real life school boyfriend, which is what everyone at my house would say when I would come home. They'll be like, you have a school boyfriend, you don't even have a real boyfriend. So I was like, it's no pleasing you fucking people. Like, they always have something to say, something else. I was like, I was like, okay, whatever. I'm just sitting there, and one day he's like, yeah, tomorrow I'm getting my house arrest bracelet taken off. And I'm like, oh, so that means you're going home back to another school, because like he doesn't live around here, he's not zoned for this school. He's like, no, I still have to like stay here for another couple months, but I am getting my house arrest bracelet taken off. So I was like, oh, that's nice. I was like, but you really can't go anywhere still, because, you know, you have to go to the group home. Like, they were strict. They were like, come home right after school. If you have to do stuff after school, then you have to get it signed off by a teacher saying what you were doing and that you were doing what you said that you were doing. I remember we used to stay after school together, and we would just like talk and shit. The teachers were so irritated. Like, they hated us. They're like, they are so annoying. But so cute at the same time. No, I'm just kidding. They fucking hated us. No, he gets his house arrest bracelet taken off. And at this point in time in life, I had never ditched, ever. I had never left school grounds when it was not time for me to leave school grounds. I was at school. I would still do bad shit, but just at school. Like, I was like keeping it back to school, because I heard that if you go out and like ditch and the police catch you, the school police, you'll get a truancy. And I've had truancies before this time. Like, I was like, those fucking tickets are expensive. Expensive, not expensive. Like, that shit is hella expensive to pay off, and you have to go to court. Oh my god, I couldn't do it. No. But I did anyways. He convinced me. I forgot how, but like, it was all of us together. He was like, if this friend, and then it was all of us together. He had like all his friends and stuff, and I hated his friends. I'm not even gonna lie. I really did hate his friends. This bitch's friends would always try to get at me. Even in front of him, they'll be like, oh, you're so cute. Like, you shouldn't even be dating him. You should date me, blah, blah, blah. And not to mind you, all his friends are criminals too. Like, it's like, one of them even smokes cigarettes, and he tried to get at me. Fucking blowing cigarette smoke in my face. I was like, no, get out of my face. So I hated all you guys all together. We're like having fun and we're like partying and like not partying though. Not partying too hard on school hours, you know. Then we'll go back because he had to still go back and get like the group home would check his attendance and then like he'll get in trouble if it's like whatever. I don't know how that works. Like I don't know, like he ditched and then I ditched. Our teachers knew we ditched because we had all of the teachers that we had talked to each other and they were like really close friends, so they'll be like, yeah, Max and Taliba, like, did you see them together? And then they'll be like, yeah, but they weren't in my class though today. And they were like, I seen them today. And they're like, and then they never wrote us up though. That was crazy. They were so nice to us. God, that's so, like we never got RPC for that shit. That's just actually crazy. Dude, I would have had my ass beat by my mom. My mom would have came all the way from Arizona just to beat my ass. So it's a couple more weeks and everything's going good actually, you know? And then the time comes up where it's time for him to leave. Okay, look, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really one for a committed relationship. I don't like commitment. That shit's not for me. That shit's for the birds. Chirp, 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 chirp. Don't like commitment. Him leaving was actually okay with me, kind of, because I was like, this thing can't go on for too long, you know, like, And then I did get tired of him for a little bit, but then, you know, we will get back together, whatever. So now this is where it gets too much. This day, I remember this day. It was a Monday. This girl that let me tell you about this girl. This girl, I was her only friend at first. Like most of all her friends came from me. Everyone hated this girl, but every single day she'll be like, hey, and she'll be like, you're so pretty, and you know, I fell for that shit. I was like, thank you, girl, you're pretty too, blah, blah, blah. Me trying to be fucking, I'm too nice. I swear I'm too nice. So I tell her, I'm like, yeah, you can come hang out with me. So she hangs out with my group of friends, but this is like another group of friends at this time. Like I had 2 groups, and this is like this group of friends. And all the people that she liked at that time, all those people that you thought were your real friends, honey, that you got from me, they were not your real friends because let me tell you something, they did not want to hang out with her at all. They were like, she stinks, she's ugly, she's talked too much, and then like blah blah blah. Like they had all the bad shit to say about her, and every single time I'd be like, stop, leave her alone, blah blah blah. Even when she was right there, they'll sit there and like whisper and like say little sly shit to her face, and she'll just be like like, but like it's always me. It's always me. People always try to come for me and try to sit here and do shit to me, and then like, and I'm like the nicest person ever. Like I'm telling you, that's why. It's because I'm too nice. I'm the nicest person ever, and then people always sit here and like try to do shit to me. I remember in PE though, I changed my class because I hated that bitch. I hated that teacher. I hated her, both of them. I hated my dance teacher and my PE. I hate them. I hate them. I remember she had PE, I had dance, and there was 2 PE teachers. There was this one and blah blah blah. There was 2 different ones. So she had this one and another one had this one. So this girl had PE and she found a little PE friend that was outside of our group. I don't give a fuck. I did not care at all. Not even a little bit. Not even a tad. No. Okay, so I see this girl for the first time ever. I never even see this girl walking around on campus. Never seen this girl. First day I seen this girl. She looks at me like this. And like says something to her. She's like, blah blah blah, and I was just like, I turned to my friend and I'm like, what was that? Like, why did she do that? Did she say something to you about her? Like, she's like, no, I don't know, she does that sometimes. She's like, she just doesn't know you, that's why. And I'm like, okay, but like she doesn't know anyone around here, but she's not looking at them how she's looking at me. we'll call this girl who looked at me like that Remote. And we'll call the other girl who everyone said stinks and blah blah blah, we'll call her Ragu. So Remote and Ragu got closer during the time and blah blah blah. This girl Ragu would like be at lunch with me and all of my friends who did not like her. Like, oh yes, I love you girl, like blah blah blah, you're my best friend, blah blah blah, you know I love you girl, blah 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 blah, you're so pretty, blah blah blah. And then she'll get around this girl Remote and then she'll start being like, she'll start giving me dirty looks too. She'll be like, and I'll be like, what is the problem? And I remember I told my friend on Thursday, this is why Monday is so important, where it's like you have A day and then B day. A days is the even days and B day is the odd days. So we didn't go to every class every single day. We'd go to like every other class every other day. I remember I told my friend, I was like, I don't like Ragu anymore because she is two-faced and she's fake, and she's like always around Remote and she acts different. And my friend was like, yeah, she does. And then I remember Remote, and I was like, I'm gonna tell her on Monday because I see her on Monday, and I'm gonna tell her I don't like her anymore. Like, we and her are not friends. Like, I just don't, because she hangs out with Remote and acts different. I don't care that she's hanging out with Remote. I care that she's acting different around Remote. See how that works? See, you start acting different around people. I don't like you. I don't like that. Like, I like consistency, and if you're not consistent, hit the door, you know? You feel? So I on Thursday said that, and Remote heard me, and I was like, I said it out loud to my friend. I was like, when Ragu gets around Remote, she starts acting different. And the Remote turned her head and she was like, who? And I was like, Ragu. And I was like, and she was like, but who be acting different? I'd be like, Remote. And I pointed at her, I said, you. She'd be acting different around you. She'd be saying shit that she wouldn't say. And Remote was like, oh. And then I was like, oh. And then we just looked at each other like this. And then I just kept walking. Then I kept talking to my friend. So Friday goes by perfectly fine. I think on Friday we ditched, me and Max. And we were like, there was a fight, and we were just like cuddled up watching the fight and like having fun. And I was like, so fun, blah, blah, blah. Weekend goes by, Monday comes up. The day has finally came where Max has to go to court to see if he can go home. Max tells me, he's like, I'm like 99% sure that the judge is gonna just send me home today. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine, like, you know, whatever. And then he like is acting weird. He's like not wanting to hang around me and stuff anymore. And I'm like, are you okay? Or like, I was like, what's wrong with you, dude? And so it's lunchtime rolls around. It's like, what, 11:30 in the morning? You know how lunches are at school. But lunchtime rolls around, and me and Max are supposed to ditch today because it's his last day with all the friends. Max, this bitch, he starts acting weird. I swear he acted so weird that day. He was acting so, he was like, no, you can't come, blah, 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 which pissed me off, automatically mad. I was like, dude, you've been acting weird all fucking day, bitch. Like, don't fucking get your big head because you're going home, bitch. I was like, bitch, you live in a group home. Like, just stop. Like, you're a criminal. Like, it doesn't matter. And then he's like, yeah, I don't care, blah, 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 blah. You don't have to come. And I'm like, bitch, I don't want to come with, like, now I don't because you pissed me off. And so I turn around and I leave. In my mind, Max and his friends went off to ditch. I'm talking to my friend and I'm telling my friend, we'll call him Man, because he was a dude. And me and him were talking, and I'm just telling him about the fight that I seen. I'm like, oh yeah, this happened and this happened. Crazy ass shit, by the way. And me and him were just talking, and Remote and Ragu comes up together. And Remote's like, yeah, her. And then she was like, and I was like, what? I was like, bitch, who? Who, bitch? Like, me? No, couldn't be. Who then, bitch? Who is it? You, sir, man, you? And she's like, no, it's you. And I'm like, what? I said I was gonna tell her that, sorry. Remember I told you I was gonna tell her that I don't like her. I was gonna say it to her face. This bitch remote sees her before me, probably was looking for the bitch, and starts running her mouth and saying that I was talking shit about her behind her back. No, because you can even ask my friend, my old friend, and she'll be like, no, she did say that she was gonna tell her on Monday when she seen her. And when I seen her was at the end of the day. It's only lunch. Like, we have like 3 more periods before the end of the day. I seen her last. So she comes up to me this day, and since she's with remote, Ragu grows some balls. Kind of, okay? She's like, oh, were you talking shit about me? What you say about me? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I wasn't talking shit about you. I said it right to her face right then. I did not deny anything. Because in my head, my sick, twisted head, talking shit is literally talking shit. Like telling her she stinks and that she's ugly and blah, blah, blah. That's talking shit in my mind. But me saying I'm not going to hang out with you anymore because you be acting weird around remote, that's not talking shit. It's just like fact. But some people will say it's talking shit, but some people won't. But I don't care. Like, it's, to me, it's not. So I didn't see it as talking shit. But even if I was someone, bitch, like, who cares? Like, just tell me if you want to fight. Like, what are you gonna do though about it? And she was like, well, I don't know. And she was like, I don't know, I just think it's fucked up how you did that. She starts to walk away. This whole time I asked her, I said, do you want to fight? She's like, no, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm like, okay then, I don't want to talk to you anymore. And I turn and I start talking about the fight that happened on Friday. And I'm like, yeah, so blah, 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 blah. And then she starts to walk away, guys. She walks away. Walks away, okay? She's like, and remote's still staring at me, looking like, standing there looking at me like this. I don't know what the fuck that bitch's problem was. I didn't care. I never even said a word to that bitch. I swear I didn't. I did not give a fuck. Okay, so she's walking away, and I'm talking, and remote's just standing there, and then Ragu, she's like, well, I don't know, because no one's beating me up. When I tell you, my neck snapped so hard, like, she tried to whisper it too. She tried to mumble it, bitch. Like, she was so, like, I don't know what her problem was. She was so weird. And so my neck snaps, and I'm like, bitch, okay, so do you want to fight then? Because we were just right here, and you didn't say anything this whole time about fighting. So do you want to fight? And then I was just like, okay, yeah, bitch, that's it. And then I, like, put my hair up, and I take out my earrings, and then I'm like, okay. And then I just hit her. We get into the fight. The school police started to pull 1 handcuffs on me. And then I break free somehow, some way. I like run away from them, and I put all my stuff, like my phone, my backpack, my earrings, I put it all on a table next to me, okay? And so I go to the back, and they come back with my stuff. Let me tell you what they say. Hey, we have your stuff. Your boyfriend got it for you. Boyfriend. Max. I'm like, okay. Going through my stuff, and I'm like, where's my phone? That's all he gave us. And I'm like, okay, but where's my phone at? And he's like, I don't know. Like, that's all he gave us. And I'm like, oh, that's all he gave you, but my phone's missing, so you need to go find who stole my phone. Yeah, your aunt's not answering. You're suspended for 5 days. This is before spring break. They're like, you have to go to in-house because no one's coming to get you. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And I see the vice principal, and I'm like, where's my phone? And he's like, I don't know. I'm just here to give you your suspension papers. And I'm like, okay, but my phone's missing. You need to find my phone. He's like, okay, I'm going to start trying. I'm like, no, because you need to fucking try harder because my phone is fucking missing and I want my phone back. He's like, okay, come on, you're coming to in-house. I had no phone. This bitch, Max, fucking pissed me off, and like, I'm pissed because I'm suspended before spring break, but I'm kind of not pissed because I'm like, oh, I got a longer spring break, but like, no. Okay. So I got home, I told my aunt, and she's like, oh. she's like, oh, okay. She's like, I don't know what you're gonna do. You have no phone now. And I'm like, she's like, you shouldn't be fighting because now you have no phone. That's what you get. So Max texts me. I'm using my little cousin's tablet. Max texts me because in my mind, we broke up. I was like, this bitch didn't let me ditch with him. Like, it's his fault. I wasn't even supposed to fucking be there at that lunch. Like, I had an iPhone 5C, I think it was. 5C, 5S, one of those. I think it was a 5C. At the 5C, it was green. It was broken though. Like, I don't think anyone could use my phone at that point in time. But Max did know my password. Just want to say that. And he knew how I used it because he's with me all the time. Remember how that day, Monday, is his court date. His mom was supposed to come pick him up and take him to court during lunch, which we have the same lunch. So he was supposed to be in court that day that he was going to ditch. And I think he remembered, so he came back and saw the fight. And his mom was picking him up at lunch. So sees I'm on Instagram. Follow me. And he texts me. He's like, oh, you should have fucking fought, blah, 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 blah. This is what he tells me. He's like, I was going to try to convince my mom to let me stay at the high school, but since you fought and she's seen you, said that I can't. And I was like, okay, but that doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know your mom. She doesn't know me. She doesn't know who I am. And he's like, I showed her who you were before you started fighting. She wanted to meet you, but then she seen that you got into a fight and she said no, and you can't, and I can't stay. So thanks a lot. And I'm like, okay, bitch, first of all, who are you trying to lie to right now? Like, this is a whole lot. She said that I shouldn't be messing around with those ratchet black girls anymore. He's like, and I'm going home. My last day is Wednesday, which I wasn't going to be there for because I'm suspended. And the judge put him back on house arrest because he's going home. He's like, yeah, you can go home, but you're going to be put back on house arrest. He's like, okay, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to get my shit together, blah, blah. So he goes home. It was Wednesday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so 4 days go by. So on Sunday, he texts me. He's like, yeah, I'm thinking about cutting off my house arrest bracelet for spring break because I want to, like, party with my friends. And I'm like, don't do it. I just tell him, like, no, don't do it. I'm like, it's not worth it. Who cares? He's like, but no, they're all having fun, and I'm like sitting here at home, and I like can't do anything. I'm like, bitch, build a bridge and get over it. He's like, you never come see me, blah, 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 blah. So, I know if my teachers are watching this is the part they've been waiting for. I go to see him, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's cool. The whole time we watched a movie. I forgot what movie it was. I think it was a disaster movie. I love that movie. But I don't think it was though. We watched a movie. It was kind of a movie. Like, we watched halfway. Then I went to the store for some candy, and then I come back and he's like, yeah, my mom's home, so you can't come in anymore. And I'm like, I was just so done with him. I was like, okay. And I was like, that was it. I was like, yeah, I'm not talking to him ever again. And I didn't. He kept texting me. He was like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I was like ignoring him. And I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. But then he cut off his house arrest bracelet. He's like, I need a place to stay, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you can stay at my house for a couple of days. Because I like harboring a fugitive. And I'm like a criminal, you know, but like, tomato, tomato. No, I'm just kidding. But I was like, you can stay at my house for a couple of days. But yeah, like, you need to figure out what you're going to do. I don't know how to drive. I have no car. Like, he doesn't know how to, well, he knows how to drive, but the only way he says I can come get him, he says I have to come get him on the bus. The bus. And I'm like, bitch, you better steal a car and come the fuck over here. So he's like, come get me, come get me, come get me. And then I'm like, I was like, I don't know. I was like, you just need to come here yourself. And I sent him my address. I'm like, just come here yourself. Just come here yourself. Just come here yourself. He's like, no, no, no. I'm like, okay, I'll come get you tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, so better be ready. And then like he sends me the address. And I'm like, okay. He starts texting me. He's like, are you gonna give me a blowjob? I'm like, if you're gonna be on, I told him, I was like, if you're gonna be doing this, I'm not gonna come get you, and you're gonna stay where you're at, and you're not gonna have a place to stay. Like, I don't know what to tell you. He's like, no, I'm just kidding. So I go to get him. I leave at, I wanna say like 7-ish, maybe 6 or 7 in the afternoon, late afternoon. I have no phone because my phone got stolen, which, so I go all the way out here on this bus, and this bitch is not active. First of all, the house, I don't even think the house existed. Like, it was hella in the cut, like it was hella like weird probably, but like I was like, oh no, this is not gonna work. So I go all the way to Walmart and I asked this Walmart guy to use his phone. I was like, can I use your phone? He's like, yeah, sure. But like, honestly, I started texting him, not active, wasn't active for hours. And I'm like, hey, where are you? Where you at? I'm calling him, I'm blowing up the phone. I'm like, finally I'm like, meet me at the park, blah blah blah. I'm waiting there. I start walking around trying to see where it's at. This bitch does not come out for hours. Is not active, no nothing. I'm like, I'm walking around now, and then finally at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, yeah, maybe I should just go home and call it a day, you know. Ooh. So I'm like, at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm going home on the bus now, and I walk through my door. I walk through my house door, and I sit down on the stairs, and I get on the tablet again. The second I hit, like, I open the app Messenger, and I see if he's active again, he texts me. He's like, where are you at? I've been waiting here. I'm like, bitch, no, you weren't. I was just there. Now I'm home. I said, so, bitch, I don't know what to tell you. I said, now you can't stay here. Blah, blah, blah. They're not allowed to have phones. Not even a little bit. They're not even supposed to be on social media. If they see them on social media, they'll get in trouble. I realized, I'm like, how are you texting me right now? You weren't allowed to have a phone. And he's like, oh, this is my brother's phone, blah, 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 like, blah, blah. And I'm like, what kind of phone is it? He's like, an iPhone. And I'm like, I bet you if I would have seen that bitch, he would have had a green iPhone C just like mine. I think he stole my fucking phone. That's what I believe. I think he stole my phone and then resetted it, and then he just took my shit. Either he took my phone and he resetted it, or he took my phone, sold it for parts, and then got a new phone. That's so sad. So sad for me. But yeah, I remember I had to go to mediation for the fight that I got into it because she tried to press charges on me. Battery. I tried to go to mediation so I would go to juvie, and she didn't even come. Like, I was like, I swear, all these people, they want me to lose my mind. They want me to lose my sanity. It's not gonna work though. Not today, Satan. And so we break up after all that, and then I got in trouble for like bullying the girl, which I wasn't bullying her. I'm not a bully. And since he cut off his house arrest bracelet, he goes back to juvie, and he gets sent back to the group home. So now he's going back to my school again after we broken up. And the whole time that he's there, it's like only a month left of school, and the whole time I did not even look at him. I did not even talk to him. He was like, he would like stare at me, and I would just be like, I wouldn't even look at him. I would just be like doing my shit. And I remember one time he had his friend come up to me and ask me why I wasn't talking to him, and if I would want to talk to him. And I'm like, no, I don't. So tell him that, and tell him I don't, to stop seeing you. Don't come. I told him, I was like, don't come over here again to me. And he's like, okay, yeah, whatever. He's like, but like, yeah, you shouldn't fuck with Max because he is a bad person, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, dude. He's like, you should fuck with me. And I'm like, I'm like, dude, is that it? And he's like, did you have sex with Max? I'm like, what? Why would you even ask that? He's like, because he has scratches on his back and he said it's from you. And I'm like, he said what? I said no. Like, oh, well, that's what he said. I was like, well, he must have been cheating because it wasn't me, bitch, sorry. And then like he laughed and he like walked away. This bitch left this much of an impact on my school life that my teachers for senior year, because I went back to the same school, so for senior year, my teachers, I remember like the first day I seen them, my teacher pulls me aside. She's like, I know it's none of my business, but like, did you and like insert that little SpongeBob meme, because that's exactly what she did. She's like, did you guys like? And I was like, yes, it is none of your business, but no, we didn't do anything. And she was like, oh, okay. She's like, okay. And I was like, yeah. But for senior year, I was so much more nicer. But a lot of crazy shit did happen to me then, too. If you guys want to hear stories about that, subscribe, comment, like, dislike, do anything, and I'll do it. Because I'm just going to do it anyways. Probably not next week, but the week after that. Yeah, that's it. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Snap, and make sure you also have a good day. Okay, bye.